Welcome to Level 1 Reddit, where we give you your daily Reddit fix. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss what's popular and trending in Reddit. In today's episode, we will talk about a man's passion for pinball, a bad cop named Greg Hicks, and how awesome Chris Pratt is. So let's begin with the pinball story. So this one is on Next Fucking Level, and it says Kenny Bourbeau is 70 and grew up playing pinball. As a heart patient, he couldn't risk going to his favorite arcade after it reopened. So he said he'd stop by just to say hello from outside. The owner had his favorite pinball machine waiting for him on the sidewalk. And there's Kenny Bourbeau right there on the sidewalk with his mask on, and looks like he's got his glass of beer down there too by the pinball machine. Some of the comments. That man can have all my quarters. Second comment. Kenny is a registered member of the International Flipper Pinball Association. He was still pretty active up until March. Last comment. I should quit the internet today. I have the warm, fuzzy feels. First of all, I didn't even know there was such thing as the International Flipper Pinball Association. I had no idea that existed. But then again, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. They have pretty much a club or association for pretty much anything right now. So, but I like this story because the owner of the Tokens Tap Room Arcade and Bar went above and beyond for this person. Man, I wish we had more stories like this. I love stories like this. It's like the last comment said, I have the warm fuzzy feels. 70 years old is old, but it's not like really old. You know what I'm saying? It's not like 90 or 100. I mean, the guy's clearly playing pinball with his beer right there. So, you know, then again, if I'm 90, I'd probably still be drinking beer. So, alright, so for the next story, this one is kind of a complete opposite. I couldn't find the original post, so I Google searched it, and this is what came up with. So Greg Hicks is no longer a Birmingham, Alabama police officer. So this is what was going on in Reddit right here, this entire post. It says, bad cup, no donut. Birmingham, Alabama police officer Greg Hicks. Basically, the Birmingham mayor, he posted on Facebook that says, we now have an outright ban on chokeholds. And this a-hole right here, Greg Hicks, responded on Facebook. He said, I always preferred literally crushing ribs to gain compliance anyway, rather than a safe chokehold that'll gain compliance with little to no physical damage done. If I'm gonna do paperwork on you, you're gonna earn it. Oh man. I would love to see this guy try to go after me, guys. I'm not a big guy, but I can hold my own. I mean, last time I weighed myself, I weighed about 220 pounds. So, I think I'm chunky. People said I'm not chunky. I have some muscles, but I'm not ripped or anything like that. I'm pretty hefty. I would love to see this guy try to come after me. I really, really would. So anyway, I guess we found out later when I searched on Reddit right here on Greg Hicks that he left the Birmingham Police Department 2 years ago in 2018. And here is the article on it that was just released a week ago. July 15, 2020. I guess he left 2 years ago. So, some of the comments here. One of the good cops is probably the person that liked the comment with a laugh. Because if you look at, again over here, somebody did like his comment with that laughing emoji. And somebody said it's probably one of the, quote, good cops. Second comment. You know that this motherfucker has to be Facebook friends with, at the very least, a few, quote, good cops. Cops have tightly knit communities with each other. They go to the same bars. They're typically only friends with other cops, which is a shocker because violent sociopaths tend to not attract friends who are normal people capable of feeling empathy, and instead form friendships with people who share the same enthusiasm for hurting and bullying people. There's no way that he commented on Facebook wasn't seen by a single, quote, good cop. It was probably seen by far more normal police who agreed and liked the comment than so-called good cops who bravely, silently disagreed with his co-workers' passion and eagerness to inflict great bodily harm on innocent people because he's a legitimate, masochistic psychopath who derives sick, twisted pleasure from hurting others. Every single good cop who saw this post and didn't immediately petition to have the psychopath's badge and gun taken away immediately are just as bad, as he is putting their bullshit, quote, band of brothers, us versus them mentality before the safety and well-being of any poor souls who are unfortunate enough to encounter this animal. Wow, that was a mouthful of comment right there. So basically, I kind of agree with that comment. You know, he's right. This guy probably is friends with a lot of cops because it is a tight-knit community. I agree. And I even more agree, sadly, that there are probably some good cops who did see his post but didn't do anything about it. As I mentioned before, guys, I used to work for a police department, and I know how these things go. I know how, especially in a smaller department, Birmingham's a pretty decent size, but in a smaller department, you kind of have to back each other up, because if you're known as the, quote, snitch, it could make your day a living hell. And I think that's the problem right there, is not enough people are standing up for what is right. And that's exactly what that last commenter is saying, is that they're just as guilty because they're putting that mentality of the snitch before the safety and well-being of any other people, which is really, really unfortunate. But hey, on the bright side, I'm glad this guy is no longer a cop, at least not in Birmingham, Alabama, where they said he's from. And I am very happy with that response from the Birmingham Police Department. So thank you for getting rid of Greg Hicks. And Greg Hicks, if you're listening, come at me, bro. Alright, for the last one, this one's a feel-good story. So Chris Pratt stole his costumes after filming Guardians of the Galaxy so he could visit sick kids in a hospital who want to meet Star-Lord. Before I continue, I just want to say Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, was probably one of the best superhero movies I've seen. I think he had everything: humor, heart, lots of humor. It was just one of those films that made me forget about how shitty everyday life could be, and for once, for the next 2 hours, I focused on what was funny, what was good. It took my mind away from reality, is what I'm saying. So I love Guardians of the Galaxy. So in a recent interview from sci-fi.com, I'm just going to read it to you guys real quick. Chris Pratt said in an interview, quote, "I stole the jacket and some of the wardrobe so that if this movie comes out and does what everyone hopes it can, I can follow the example of someone, say like Russell Wilson, and go visit kids. If it was a big enough movie to where it would mean something to a kid who's sick in a hospital for Peter Quill or Star-Lord to come visit them, I'll do that. I think that's awesome, man. That would give me a real meaning for this movie, you know? Right now, it means high-profile, cool jobs coming up, big press tour, and all the excitement of it all, but none of that really means anything. The coolest things would be that my son can one day see this, and that maybe I can go affect some kids in a positive way. Be a good role model for them. Ah. Sorry about that. I was a little tongue twister there. be a good role model for them. So this is at TIL. So today I learned. I'm guessing this happened a long time ago because Guardians of the Galaxy came out years ago. But it was kind of cool that I didn't know that Chris Pratt did that. Some of the comments here. Taking stuff from a film after filming is such an old tradition, bro. Studios don't have warehouse space to keep those props and set pieces, and more often than not, don't last long enough in storage to be worth archiving. I kind of disagree with that comment. I think Guardians of the Galaxy is one of those main staples for the Marvel Studios. So, again, next comment. Just remember, Ben Affleck stole batarangs from the Justice League set after they finished filming, and the studio sent him a bill. That might have been what happened with Pratt. Okay, I can see that happening. Next comment. Didn't Robert Downey Jr. joke about wanting the Avengers letter A from the first Avenger movie, and it showed up on his doorstep? That's awesome. Robert Downey Jr. can do whatever the hell he wants, man. He's fucking Iron Man, for shit's sakes. Is there anything that guy cannot do, or anyone will not do for him? It's fucking Robert Downey Jr. Come on. You know what? He should run for fucking president. I'll vote for that guy. Oh my god. Alright, next one. If I had some cool props in the movie I starred in, you bet your ass I'm taking all the cool shit with me. Send me a bill. Fuck it. I just starred in a movie. That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. If I started a movie, you bet your ass I'm gonna buy every single pieces that I can get my hands on, just as a memorabilia. I mean, come on. You're a fucking movie star. You got paid for that movie, man. How often is it that somebody could just buy their own memorabilia just because you starred in it? That's insane. Last comment. Ben Affleck wanted to keep the Batman suit, but was told it would cost him over $100,000. Now, maybe this is a very unpopular opinion, but I actually enjoyed Ben Affleck as Batman. I had a lot of doubts. Because I did not like him as Daredevil. I like him as an actor, but as a superhero, I said, it's not gonna work. But for some reason, he made Batman work for me. He really did. You know, the whole Dark Knight persona, and he didn't even have to change his voice that much like Christian Bale did, you know, with the raspy voice. I think it worked for me, and for some fucked up reason, he doesn't want to buy it for $100,000, which I'm sure at this point Ben Affleck is a multi-millionaire. $100,000 for a Batman suit? I mean, come on, man. Don't be a cheap ass. If I can buy it, you know. But anyway, that is really cool of Chris Pratt of doing that, visiting sick kids in a hospital. That's Chris Pratt's doing that. So guys, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching Level 1 gameplay. Please subscribe if you like this content. New videos are out daily at 5 a.m. Monday through Friday. And until we come up with a better slogan, remember, you are beautiful. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.